Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Strategy of the Week for the 17th of January 2014. Money goes where money grows. This is Kevin Crowe, Manager of Retirement Services, and I'll be your host this evening. Over the years in my trading, I found that I often held onto growth shares that did not move in the desired direction, far longer than I should have. The most frequent commonality among those that did not move or moved in the wrong direction was a low or negative VectorVest GRT. I subsequently began to methodically select new shares whose GRT was greater than 15, and the results began to improve almost immediately. In this evening's presentation, I'll create a portfolio using VectorVest that will include shares with low or negative GRT. I will then demonstrate how to methodically replace each share position in this portfolio one at a time with shares whose GRT is greater than 15. I chose to begin the portfolio rehabilitation demonstration at the beginning of a confirmed up on the 30th of December 2013. Keep in mind you can perform this transformation at any time. The objective of this presentation is not to show a new strategy and the subsequent results, but illustrate through VectorVest a skill that puts you in control of your portfolio so that in any market condition you can make a meaningful improvement to your portfolio. Let's review our objectives for this evening. First, by implementing this type of strategy, we remove emotion from our decision. Second, we learn to manage our portfolio versus react. This type of strategy should be a component in your trading plan. And as I like to refer to this, what we'll show you this evening is what I like to call addition by subtraction. In other words, while we take underperforming stocks from the portfolio, we'll be adding a like number of stocks with the appropriate GRT to the portfolio. Let's begin by going to our home page. I'm going to come up to our Unisearch tab, click on the Unisearch tab. I'm going to change our date to the 30th of December 2013. Click OK. You'll now see that we've changed the date. Now that we've changed the date, I'm going to come over to our strategies, and I'm going to scroll down until I get to Searches Conservative. I'm going to click on Searches Conservative. I'm going to go down to Prima Donnas. Let's take a look at the comments below. It says this finds stocks that pay a dividend with well above average safety, or RS, with below average price appreciation potential, RV, and the stocks are sorted by the highest dividend yield to the lowest. So on the 30th of December, I'm going to run search. I'm going to take the top 5 stocks and put them in a watch list. As you can see, the GRT column, we have growth rates of 4, 2, 0, 4, and -1. I'm going to click on the top equity, go down to the 5th one, left click. I've now highlighted these top 5. At this point, I'll right click and I'm going to go to Add to Watch List. I'll double check that the stocks that I've highlighted are also the ones that I'll confirm are going to go into the watch list. I'll click OK, and now I'm going to come up to Viewers, and I'm going to go to Viewers, and under my watch list I have the AU Strategy of the Week, and as you can see it contains those 5 stocks. So at this point, we're going to begin our portfolio transformation. Now, a couple of things worthy of note. First off, if we come down to this bottom line, which is an average of the watch list holdings, you can see the watch list average is a growth rate of 2. Well, that's probably not sufficient growth return for people who are saving for retirement or making decisions to grow their portfolio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the lowest growth rate we have in the portfolio, which is -1, and it's Adelaide, ticker symbol ABC.AX. I'll highlight it. I'm going to right click. I'm going to come down to Delete Item. Now I'm going to click Delete, which is synonymous if we were actually selling this particular stock. So I'll click Delete. It removes the stock from the portfolio. Next, I'm going to come up to Unisearch again. And this time I'm going to stay in the same Search as Conservative, but I'm going to go to Dividend Plays, because it's from this strategy that I'll be selecting the stocks to replace. So we'll click on Dividend Plays. We'll make sure our date is December the 30th, 2012, and we'll click Run Search. Now the stocks I'm going to select You've got to have a growth rate greater than 15, RV, RS, and RT equal to or greater than 1, and our recommendation has got to equal a buy or hold. The first stock we're going to select is BC Iron Limited, ticker symbol BCI.X. Its growth rate is 25. At this point, I'll right click. I'm now going to add to watch list. Left click, confirm, click OK, and now let's go back to viewers to make sure it's been inserted into the portfolio. We can see that it has. And additionally, if you'll note, our growth rate has now changed to 7. So we've now moved with the replacement and addition of 2 stocks. We've changed our growth rate from 2 to 7. I'm going to now change our date because I'm going to sell and replace these stocks one trading day at a time. So I'll left click. I'm going to go to the 31st of December, click OK. And the next stock we're going to replace is PRG.AX. And as you can see, it has a growth rate of 0. Well, we're going to take that one off the board. I right click. I go to delete item. I can now see that stock has been removed. Now we're going to go and replace it. I'm going to come back up to Unisearch. We've got to change our date, move it forward 1 date, click OK, and we'll run search. Now as I replace stocks, not only do they have to meet the criteria that I stated before, I'm going to select the stocks closest to the top that I haven't bought before. So in this case, our next selection would be CGF, Challenger Limited. You can see it has a GRT of 17. Well, why did I select this? Well, first off, if we come up to WAM Capital, it didn't meet our RS requirement, and Bank of Queensland did not meet our growth rate. So we'll left click on Challenger Limited, CGF, right click. We'll go to add to watch list, verify that we have put that stock in place, click OK. And now we're going to come back up to viewers to make sure it has been added to our watch list. As you can see, CGF and BCI have both been added. And now our growth rate is moved up to 10. So again, we've moved from 2 to 10. Once again, remaining on this date and in the watch list, I'm going to remove the next stock. And the next stock has a growth rate of 2. Westpac, WBC. Left click, go to delete item. Left click on that. We can see it has been removed. And notice just by removing it, our growth rate moved up another 2% from 10 to 12. So again, as you can see, we now have 4 stocks. We've changed our growth rate to 12. So at this point, we have removed 3 of our original stocks. Our GRT is 12. And now come up to Unisearch. Go to the 2nd of January 2014. Right click. And now choose BT Investment Management, ticker BTT.X. It has a growth rate of 26. We will right click. We will add to watch list, verify, click OK, go to viewers. We can now verify BTT.AX is in our portfolio. We can see the growth rate is 26. And now we've had a growth rate that has changed to 15 from 2. Remaining in our watch list, we'll change our date to the next investment day, which was the 3rd. Click OK. We're now going to remove the last 2 tickers, CBA.X and NAB.AX. I'm going to highlight the first one, hold down my Shift button, click on the second one, now right click and delete item. You can see by doing that, taking out those 2 stocks, our growth rate has now turned to a growth rate of 22, beginning to look like a major league portfolio. But we still have 2 stocks to add. So I'm going to go to Unisearch, and again, I'm going to move my date to the 3rd of January, click OK. I'm going to run search, and on this date, I'll select Finbar Group, ticker FRI.AX. I'll highlight. You can see our growth rate is 29. And in case you're wondering, Cadence Capital wasn't selected because of the RS. We already have CGF in our portfolio. We didn't choose WAM Capital because of the relative strength. And Bank of Queensland LT has a GRT of 14. So we'll right click, add to watch list, verify, click OK. Now I'm going to move forward one more trading date to the 6th. We're going to click OK. We're going to run search, and I will add Premier Investments, ticker symbol PMV.AX. You'll note that it has a growth rate of 21. I will right click, go to Add to Watch List, verify, click OK. Now let's go to Viewers, and you can see the 5 stocks that we've added. Coming to the bottom, you can see our growth rate has gone from a +2 to a +23. If I right click on this data bar and go to View Average Watch List, and what I'd like to do is highlight the area roughly from the confirmed up call. As you can see, these stocks were already beginning in an uptrend before we got to the confirmed call of the 30th of December. Yes, we've recently hit a confirmed down, and as I stated earlier in our discussion points, this is not to show you a wow strategy, it's to show you a technique and a strategy to take a portfolio that is underperforming and without emotion make some changes by swapping one for another, or addition by subtraction. So once again, using VectorVest in a very simple but effective technique, we've changed our portfolio. We're in good position going forward, and now that we've changed out the portfolio, again, you can do as I demonstrated. You can add or delete one stock at a time and keep that portfolio above a growth rate consistent with your goals and objectives. So in summary, here's what we've done. We've chosen a growth rate appropriate for our portfolio. For me, I'm not comfortable with stocks with a GRT below 20. Yours might be higher, yours might be a little bit lower, but wanted to show you a technique that would work in all markets. We can be selective. We can choose stocks that we believe will give us the best opportunity to have a vibrant, growing portfolio. We are going to proactively weed the garden. There's no sense in keeping stocks on a hope and a prayer that they're going to continue to move up at some point. If they're not performing under a reasonable period of time, we remove them. And last, as the title of this Strategy of the Week implies, money goes where money grows. I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening, and I hope you have a pleasant weekend.